Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today we are live swatching Lumen Nails Underworld collection. This collection releases on September 27th, 2024. And if you enjoy live swatches, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And we are going to jump right in with what I'm wearing as my base and my glossy top coat, since that is a question that I do get sometimes on videos. So I'm wearing Bee's Knees Lacquer Spirit base coat, and I'm wearing KB Shimmers Clearly on top as my glossy top coat. But as you can see, our first polish is not a glossy polish at all. So once you get through looking at what my nails are before I apply the polishes, we're going to jump right into Cerberus. This one is the deepest charcoal matte cream that glides on and dries to a gorgeous finish that is sexy and bold. So this one, I immediately enjoyed it, and I had very strong feelings about this collection. It very much tied in to my emotions, and I love when a polished collection is more than just pretty to look at. It has a very visceral reaction, like Cerberus, which is a absolute power polish. It made me feel so powerful and emboldened. But also, when I was talking to Shantae, I said it reminded me of a black leather corset. Classy but sexy at the same time. Next up is Angel of Darkness. This sleek, glossy gray with a green undertone is reminiscent of ancient whispers and hidden deeds. Now, these descriptions are written by our wonderful makers like Shantae, so I wanted to make sure that you have credit where credit is due. Now, I thought this one was just such a unique color that I might have absolutely flubbed my first coat because I was so excited to see it at full opacity, which only took two coats if you actually let your first coat dry and don't overwork the formula like I did. It's not as thick as the other formula, so that may have be why I went a little off script. But then again, it does have that super glossy finish. And that's even before I put on a glossy top coat to seal it in. Promise you, this one is getting a rewear. So that brings us to Persephone, which immediately stood out with this incredibly delicate combination of hues and such a magnificent glow. So, Persephone is described as it embodying the spirit of life and abundance with a glow and shimmer that lights up and shifts the underworld, bathed in gold to red moonlight and perfumed blooms. I could not agree more because in two coats I had full opacity of this beautiful polish, which I was deeply surprised by because it's so delicate in the color scheme, but that glow is super intense at the same time. It's like it has two contrasting personalities, and I cannot get enough of it. I definitely want to wear it during the spring and for romantic occasions. Speaking of romantic, we have Eternity. It's inspired by life and is complex beauty with a pomegranate saturated with a red to amber to green large particle shimmer that builds in depth with each coat. So, on the first coat, I was definitely seeing a lot of pink there, and I didn't mind because, I mean, it was going to work into something way more interesting on the second coat, which is a fire embodiment red. Like, I love a red that is so in tune with an element that it literally looks like it's alive on the fingernail. And this isn't going to be the only polish that gave that effect for me, but it is my favorite because I'm still in my red era, and this is a must have polish for me. Speaking of must haves, these are so easy to segue to. The next one is Burning for You, which is a rich crimson, dark and brooding, evoking power and forbidden desires. Now, this one reminded me of a velvet rope 100%. It looks like it could be innocent, but you know it's anything but. So, 2 coats for full opacity and depth, and I just fell in love with it because it's so decadent and it's so rich that it feels sinful, but it's not. It's just a polish. So, again, like I said before, this collection evokes a lot of emotion, and I love when a polish collection pulls at you straight from the heart. Speaking of, now I am going to butcher this name because I've only ever read it. I really don't hear it in conversation. So I don't know if this is pronounced Acheron. Acheron. I could be wrong, but please feel free to go ahead and comment what it's supposed to sound like. I will not be offended at all. So this one is com- described as beware the magnetic pull towards the river of woe, a living green with a golden spark and green to blue shift, drown in the depths of this otherworldly body of water and emerge renewed. So I found this one interesting because it reminds me of the Midnight Garden in Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's dark, it's mysterious, it draws you in, but it also moves with this otherworldly presence, and I could not get enough of this. I mean, especially before Halloween. Now, for those of you who are not into the very gothic glory of this polished collection, we have Styx. Styx is an unexpected bright element in this collection, a captivating blue with a hauntingly deep green to violet to blue shift that beckons you to look forward to your journey into the unknown. I was immediately smitten with this one because I felt such a calmness and such a serenity in these shades because they shift so beautifully from one to the other. So, like, you thought it was just going to be a basic pretty blue, but there's so much more given the shifts. So, I even included like an angle that I never show. I never show that angle of my fingers. I find it deeply unflattering for me. But for the polish, it was necessary for everyone to see it. And I hope you all like that one as much as I did. But we have to keep going because we have Hades, a deep undulating purple that is at once compelling and mysterious with dark shifts to blue, midnight, and black at extreme angles. I fell in love with this one for the sheer purpose of the fact that it's just so beautiful and the shifts are flawless. So Hades is like deeper than the darkest shadow you could drown in, but the shift is so elegant that it reveals that it's more than what at first meets the eye. And I am a personally huge fan of polishes that are more than what you think they are, especially up close, because I know what you see from a distance on my nails, and that's fine, whatever. I don't really wear nail polish for strangers to come up to me and be like, your polish is beautiful. I wear them for the secrets that they reveal to me when I'm basically doing everyday, mundane, unimportant tasks that don't matter to anybody else but me. So it's like my little secret reward. And I love when a polish does that. So you have to pardon my giddiness over Hades. Easily one of my top three. So that brings us to our very last one, deception. It immediately gives inescapable darkness. But like its name, it's not the frigid void that you assumed it is. Inside, it's warm and inviting and oh so addictive. So, this beautiful magnetic polish is described as a deepened violet magnetic shade for those who gravitate towards alchemy and transformation, walk between worlds of dark and light. How deep is that? Now, I'm immediately showing it to you. Well, I should use another word besides immediately. But off the back, I'm going to show it to you unmagnetized because I want you to see what it looks like in both states, as I am not the most proficient at magnetizing. And then I thought we should compare it to Hades. So Hades is on top right there, and then Hades is on the bottom, and Deception is on top. And you can see that clearly they are two very different polishes. But seeing as I'm not the best magnetic wearer ever, I want you to see what it looks like if you decide not to go that route. Or if you forget that it's a magnetic polish and you don't store it with your other magnetic polishes, you get to see would you still want it even if you didn't have a magnet to use. Now, this time I decided to just push all the magnetic pigment to one side and wear it so that you could see the way it shifts. I vastly preferred it on my thumb. I don't know if the lighting was just warmer or if it was the angle, but I decided to go with the still photo that showed you what I saw the most out of Deception. And it is so deep and so dark, and I can't get enough of polishes like that the closer we get to Halloween season. It's not spooky season yet for me because it's so warm outside, but I do appreciate a super emotionally charged collection, especially at this moment when spooky season is coming around. So I hope you all enjoyed this polish collection as much as I did and enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the algorithm thingies so that this video gets where it needs to go. And if you are part of my nail fam, I am sending out the biggest virtual hugs. Thank you for everything you do. And as always, be kind to yourselves and each other.